This is Satya Pradyuman of Cirrus Research. I want to call your attention to our latest issue of the Signals Report. This is a monthly report that delves into the asset allocation comparisons in the equity market. We focus on signals, for instance, such as stocks versus bonds, large versus small, growth versus value, and a number of other factors. In this report, the title, Asset Allocation Model Retains Equity Bias Even After Crowding Signal Goes Red. And what this report gets into is the fact that, yes, the clock is now ticking. We've seen a market that started to trend very sharply in the last 5-6 months, notably 7 specific stocks. And those conditions, those comparisons are now in an extreme reading based on this model. Let me walk through, though, what else is going on here. So this idea of a trending market and its likelihood to continue, I think it is supported by a number of our components. For instance, risk appetites still remain benign. They're climbing. The Cirrus risk score you see here represents the appetite for risk-taking in the U.S. equity market. And what we realize is that as these readings begin to climb, yes, the market is getting more frothy, but it's not until it reaches some excessive level. In our measure, it's really a 1 standard deviation count. If we break that, that's really when this risk appetite model will tell us, hey, the market is too overheated. So I think we've got more to go here. In other words, it's really in the last chapters of a run, can you see the most frenetic push to the top? This is the actual crowding model, the Cirrus polarization quotient, mouthful. But what it shows is that basically the leadership stocks in the large cap index are now selling at some crazy levels. We know the valuations in the market are rich, especially for these names. But what this is telling us is that the normal boundary for leadership stocks should be between parity and a 60% premium. We're now at an 85% premium as of the end of June. So this basically begins the clock countdown for the peak in the equity markets. One thing to notice with leadership right now, it is very, very tech, healthcare centric. And this is pretty much through the platform, large, mid, small. There are some differences there, but if you're to look at the left panel, June 23, what we'll see, the latest reading is that over 50, nearly 60% of the exposure is tech healthcare. Go back just 6 months ago. What's ironic is technology was not even in the top sector in terms of exposure. Healthcare was by far the most significant at 26%. So a lot has changed. Leadership has truly reformed. We think this is now heating up to a very risky market, but it does seem to us that we need a few things to trigger. For instance, the asset allocation model remains overweight equities. The risk appetites continue to climb, but they're not excessive. These are elements that we are really looking at to basically call a rotation back to fundamentals. With any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.